quite a bit in garlic and onions. Those are the best sources, really, for us.
So, okay, we'll also find it in garlic and onions. So then, you can have your Tamiflu and your, whatever, garlic chicken.
Maybe that's your chicken soup.
Chicken soup, there you go.
Yeah.
You have a recipe in there? Somebody said a recipe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So apple skins, green tea, and wine are good sources of quercetin. And green tea, by the way, we'll talk. Is there more
there's
green
green
tea?
tea.
Okay. So what about probiotics? All right. So this is a picture of one. These are beneficial microbes that live in the small and large intestines. So we talked about these are the things that the antibiotics kill if you take them. So it's important for the lymphatic system, the digestive tract, important for immunity. There's a lot of research showing the benefit of probiotic supplementation for immune status. Again, if you're, those probiotics secrete chemicals that will kill some of the invaders. So it's actually helping you out. They're your friends, right? They're sitting there so that you don't have to use your own resources, your own body's resources to fight something. They're taking care of a lot of the gut problem. So this is why we take an antibiotic.
They want to stay there. So.
Yeah, we're friends, right? They help us, we help them. We give them a place to live. We're their landlords. And then in return, they clean house for us. They help us absorb our nutrients. They take the trash out, although they do, beat up invaders when they come. So it's a good, it's a good symbiotic relationship.
So we have them there basically for competitive inhibition, to kind of like push out through.
Right. When they're living in there, it's difficult for someone else to,
somebody else
squatters to come in.
Squatters to come in.
Okay, so they counteract the side effects of antibiotic therapy. They can, but I haven't found in my clinical practice that probiotics are 100% effective in counteracting that, because the antibiotics tend to wipe out more broad spectrum things. Okay, some strains are very effective in the treatment of specific microorganisms. So, for example, there's one, Dr. O'Hara's was shown, probiotics were shown to get rid of to help inhibit MRSA, if you guys have heard of that. It's a staph, it's kind of a skin bacteria that's resistant to some antibiotics. So, probiotics can help with that. Helps prevent food poisoning while traveling. Importance of organic and sustainable foods, we kind of talked about that. And that's in addition to local. Local should be organic, because if it's not organic, you're getting pesticides. Pesticides not only occupy your liver to have to detoxify them, your immune system is involved in that as well. Okay, we talked about that. Seasonal, locally grown vegetables, we talked about that. Okay, sources of organic foods, farmers markets, some health food stores, because the only reason the bigger chains start carrying organic foods and local foods is because we buy locally. When they see that that's where the money's going, then they do it. But if you start just buying only from them, then they're not going to do the things that are the best for you. The only way they'll do it is it's market driven, it's consumer driven. So we have to be knowledgeable and responsible, otherwise we're not going to get good food, and we'll be more susceptible to these kinds of things. Okay, immune boost. Foods and recipes. Whey protein is isolated from cow's milk. It has lactoferrin in it, which is an antimicrobial and can prevent bacterial and viral invasion. It has colostrum in it, which contains immunoglobulins, which are antibodies, and they can neutralize bacteria and viruses. There's actually some really cool stuff that they do sometimes with cows. I'm wondering why they don't, anyway, I'm thinking out loud, but they actually can give a cow a particular virus, if it's a human and bovine susceptible virus. The cow will make the antibodies, and then you can drink the colostrum from the cow, and then you've got antibodies against the exact. So maybe they should do that for H1N1. I'd be more likely to take that. Best quality whey protein is extracted from at a low temperature from organic cow's milk. If it's a high temperature, it can break down some of the some of the proteins, which some of the immunoglobulins can get broken.
So you don't recommend raw milk?
Raw milk is, a lot of people recommend raw milk, and a lot of people I respect recommend that. But I have to tell you, my experience in my patients and personally has been that raw milk does wreak havoc in people's guts. And I know there's a lot of people who are fine with it because there are a lot of great clinicians who recommend it, but I would be careful with raw milk and see if it works for you or not. Mushrooms, certain mushrooms have substances called beta-glucans, and these bind to invading cells and help with the immune system in terms of identifying and killing pathogenic cells with more efficiency. maitake, shiitake, coriolus, and ganoderma. So shiitake, we can eat in our food, right?
Yeah,
Everybody's
food.
grocery stores. So this is something you can get really good. You don't have to buy a supplement necessarily.
Yeah, they're for immune system education, basically.
And maitake are delicious also.
Yeah, they are delicious.
I put them actually in omelets. But I don't have the recipe for that. Garlic contains allicin, which is a strong, broad-spectrum antioxidant. And we talked about why, certain plants and things, but this is really, as we know, one of the strongest ones. And you can tell by eating it. You eat these raw.
Oh, yeah.
Can increase efficiency of fevers when dealing with pathogens. They really can help you because you'll sweat. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but my question is about garlic. Is it more powerful raw than cooked?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you would have to use it raw in this.
Okay.
in this
And actually, when you're using it raw, it's even better, because I used to just take a clove and eat it.
Yeah.
By the way, I developed an allergy to garlic that way, so buyer beware. But if you actually crush it first and let it sit for about, you know what the time is?
Yeah, about 10 minutes or something like that.
Oh, it's on there. Okay. See, this would help if I went through the slides before. Okay, so it can increase efficiency of fevers when dealing with pathogens. To get the full benefit, it has to be taken raw, usually 1 clove a day, well crushed, and allowed to sit for 10 minutes before eating. Okay? So,
But you can still develop an allergy potentially.
yeah, you can still develop the allergy from it, so don't overdo it. Use it when you need
Use
it.
it when you need it, and then
I
stop
would
using
I would
raw
eat this
garlic.
all the time, like every day. So I don't recommend that. So horseradish and green tea. These are yes.
Sorry, just one question. So when you say when you need it, is that
Say flu season or
Flu
somebody in
season.
your house is sick. You're around somebody who is very sick, and you're very likely to have contacted that, whatever it is. That would be a good time to do it.
okay?
Yeah, then you do it for a week or 2 or something like that. But you don't continually eat it, because anytime you're continually eating something like that can provoke an immune response, then you have to, that's why we want people to rotate through foods and not eat the same things all over, over time and time again, because your body starts to react.
Right.
So,
Yeah, anything, there's no such thing as something that's all good. Anything that's has something good for you has something bad for you. Bananas have arsenic in them, okay? They have potassium in them too, but they're appropriate for some people, not appropriate for others. So this is the way this is why we go through a broad range of things that you can use. Okay, horseradish and green tea, those of you who followed me on Twitter or our blog know that these are actually specific against H1N1. So even though it's only 2% now, so it's not as big, we see that it's only really 2% of the flu cases, but it's something that's very easy. You can sip green tea throughout the day, when you're exposed, and that can be very beneficial. In terms of protection, horseradish inhibits, as we mentioned, specifically H1N1, and the addition of caffeine resulted in a synergistic effect, which further lowered mortality rates from this virus. So actually, if you could handle horseradish and green tea, you would have a pretty good combination. But you could eat at a sushi restaurant, because
You could.
what do you have? Green tea, and then
Yeah,
actually the
wasabi.
wasabi that you get isn't really wasabi in most of the Japanese restaurants. True wasabi is a cruciferous vegetable, and it's very rare for them to actually serve it to you. You're really getting horseradish. I don't know how they color it green, but But at any rate, so that.
good sushi bars do have real wasabi, though, when they grate it for you. You see them do it.
So go to
You have
like
to go to
a
this
key
place.
over here,
Yeah.
something that's like a fast food sushi restaurant, and you'll be able to, if you don't get really sick from the sushi, then you'll be able to. Not that IKEA has bad sushi, they may have great sushi, but I don't know. Horse, so,
Not so good.
okay, green teas, EGCG and ECG inhibit swine flu, but should avoid of trying to conceive. You don't have to, it's okay to take that during flu season, short periods of time. It's just you don't want to make concentrated green tea your lifestyle. It could potentially slow down your ovarian function slightly. But in this case, it far outweighs, taking the green tea right now would far outweigh any negative benefits, in my personal opinion on this, for flu season. And again, we're not recommending large amounts of caffeine. You can actually, in this particular case, if you're having horseradish, the caffeine can be synergistic with it. But the green tea itself, it's the EGCG that's doing it, not the caffeine. So you could get decaffeinated green tea as well.